we're doing some leg workout today. We're going to be incorporating a couple smaller muscles too. We're going to be working our rotator cuff, and then we're also going to do our core low back. We're going to start with a barbell Bosu squat. It's a little tricky getting onto. Start with, if you haven't done these before, start with just doing normal squats on the Bosu, and then you can kind of slowly increase the weight from there. We'll see Emily, she's doing a little bit of a smaller bar, but we'll be doing nice form squats, 90-degree bend, pushing back up, and then, but giving a nice instability of the Bosu. Supersetting this with some things that are called Scaption Raises, which we'll get to in a second. But let me show you these. So we're going to rack the bar on our back. The tricky part for me here is getting onto the Bosu, so I'm going to carefully kind of step back and then hop up onto the Bosu itself. Feet just about hip distance apart, keeping my chest up, squatting down to my 90 degrees, and pushing it back up. I'm going for 12 here. So Emily's taking a bar, setting it up on her back, letting it rest across the shoulders, same deal, but not in a squat rack. And then stepping up onto her Bosu and squatting, keeping that chest up, core tight, 90 degrees. Weights more in the heels, but keeping the stability. Alright, next thing we're doing is that Scaption Raise. What we're going to do is, it's called the Scaption Plane of Motion, which just means that the dumbbells are moving at a 45-degree angle from your body, so not straight up to the side, not in front, but kind of split the difference. We're going to do it with our thumbs up, so not palms facing the ground, but we're going to rotate so the dumbbells are here. Main thing we're looking to do is keep the shoulder blades backing down. So what I don't want to see is as they come down, letting those shoulder blades come up. What we want to see is that those shoulder blades are backing down the whole time, so when you raise and lower, they stay retracted. So we'll grab those dumbbells, arms stay straight, starting from the hips, shoulder blades backing down, 90 degrees, and back down. So those shoulder blades are back, so we're not letting them fall forward. Keep it back, keep the chest up, and repeat. Emily's working on the same thing here. Keeping it smooth and steady. Her traps are relaxed, blades are pulled together. 90 degrees, back down to the hips. Second leg exercise we're doing is one called stationary lunges. So there's lots of different ways to do lunges. This one we're going to be doing staying in one place. That's why it's called stationary. So we're going to rack the bar on our back, get into our lunge position. The main form things we're looking for is that both legs are coming down to 90 degrees. We're pulling through the front heel to try to activate the front leg's glute. Try not to push off with the back leg, keeping the chest up and the core tight so your body is upright and we're not rounding forward at all. So, nice lunge position, 90 degrees. I'm going to feel that right foot pulling me back up, flexing my glute, down, and up. Emily's doing some bodyweight stationary lunges, concentrating on a few things here, making sure that her back knee drops straight down, keeping her core neutral, pelvic tucked so we're not arching the spine at all, and keeping her torso upright so we're not tipping forward, we're not tipping back, hips are staying steady. Still weight in the heels, pulling up with her glute. We're going to do another rotator cuff mid-trap exercise. We're going to be doing an exercise called sub-scap push-ups. So an easier version of this is going to be on your hands and knees in what we call the tabletop position. Then you're going to spread your shoulder blades apart, pinch them together, trying to come down versus up. So think of the shoulder blades kind of low, spreading apart, coming together. Today we're going to accelerate that a little bit, so I'm going to go into the high plank position, so I'm up on my toes, and then the same movement, just pinching those shoulder blades back and down, pushing them apart. So Emily's doing the high plank version of the sub-scap push-ups as well, but she's adding another dimension by switching feet. Creates a little more instability, working her mid-traps. Alright, we're also going to do our low back exercise with this one. We're going to do what's called a seated good morning. So the good morning movement is where we're pivoting just from our hips, kind of folding so that we're parallel to the ground with our torso, and then pulling ourselves back up. Looking to keep the back neutral so we're not rounding over in the spine, we're also not overarching as well. Putting our feet nice and wide. If we put them a little close to the other one, we're going to fold over into our lap so it makes space for us. And the other, it's also going to relieve some of the tension that you might feel as your hamstring stretch as you go down. So I'm going going to tip forward into our lap, keeping the back flat, and then pulling yourself back up. We are working your erector spinae, the muscles on either side of your spine. The other side of your core. Emily's doing the same seated good mornings here, pivoting from those hips, almost getting to parallel to the ground, pulling herself up with the low back. All right, we're doing laying hamstring curls. So if you have a cable machine like this, put the feet attachments on, hook your feet in. Otherwise, you might have a laying hamstring curl machine, which you can use as well, where the pad's going on your ankles and you're pulling your heels towards you. What we want to make sure we do is keep the back nice and neutral. It's going to have a tendency to arch and lift your butt up. I also like recommending keeping your calves or your ankles nice and relaxed, because otherwise the calves tend to kick in a little. And we want this to work our hamstrings. Emily's doing the hamstring curls as well, keeping the core tight, low back out of the picture, ankles are nice and relaxed, pulling with the hamstrings. This exercise we're doing is our standing calf raise. We're going to angle our heel in, our toe out, keep the hips rotated forward. People have a tendency to kind of rotate this way, which then will defeat the purpose of having that toe positioned out. Holding the dumbbell in your hand, holding on for stability here. Stretch the heel down and push up as high as you can. So toes are out, heels in, stretching down, pushing up.